that's definitely something that I've learned in entrepreneurship is the second you get comfortable, don't enjoy it, because like 3 minutes later, a tidal wave's going to come and you're going to have to learn how to swim through it and get over it. And I mean, honestly, though, I'm to the point now where I hate being comfortable.
Same.
Like, you're not growing if you're comfortable. And I made a joke to someone the other day. She was like, she's like, well, you seem like you're doing good. I was like, no, I could throw up at any minute. Like, I'm so nervous all the time.
Yep.
I'm so stressed all the time. But like, I just go on. Like, this is what entrepreneurship is. It's what growing is.
It makes you tough.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I have very thick skin. I've heard it all. I've heard many things. I've grown very thick skin. Nothing phases me anymore. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Did you see that thing on Facebook? Like 2 weeks ago, a guy came to my gym and I wasn't there, and he tried making a post to like take my business, just make my business look bad.
No,
you didn't see that?
No.
So, do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Yes.
You like him?
Yes.
I love him.
Yeah.
And he's been like a big inspiration for me. I get a lot of stuff off him, and I just learned a lot through him. And this basically, it was a Friday. Yeah. And my worker was sick. I have a chick that runs the office.
Yeah.
And so she was gone, so I was watching the gym that day. And it was like 3 o'clock. I hadn't ate lunch yet, so I ran out to lunch. Yeah. And when I was gone, this dude showed up. The gym's completely locked up. It's 24 hours, so it's just locked up. Yeah. And members can still get in, but he couldn't get in. Oh. And he showed up. I wasn't there. And he didn't try to call. Didn't try to shoot me a message like on Facebook or nothing like that. Just I see the video. He just walked up, tried to open the door. Wouldn't work. Yeah. He said he rang a doorbell, but I don't have a doorbell there. Exactly. And then so he left, went straight to Facebook, made a post on like a local Facebook page, and just said, he's like, yeah, went to he didn't even call it the right place, called the Parlor Fitness. And he's like, at Friday at 3:30, no one was there. I'll never do business here again. Or just something like trying to bring it down. Yeah. And I had immediately seen it. Immediately. Like if he would have sent me a message, I would have immediately been able to send him a message back. And I was at the gym when he made this post, so I just missed him. Yes. But he tried to do it to bring me down, and I'm like, I knew it was going to, like, it just happens.
Exactly. It's part of it.
And so I first comment on there, I said, hey, man, I ran out for a late lunch. Sorry I missed you. If you ever want to come back, you're more than welcome to. Yeah. And I just try to hit him with kindness, and that was like all I could do. Exactly. And then everybody in the community just like had my back, and they just blew up on him, and they're like, this dude's working hard, all this crap, and I didn't have a single negative comment. There was like 50 comments. Exactly. And it got to the point where and I used it because I do like TikTok and everything, so I just used it for like my content on there, and it helped me. But what was amazing was he made this post to try to bring me down. I just hit him with kindness, and then the whole community backed me up. And through this post, I got 20 likes on my fitness. Oh my gosh! Just because
it's crazy how it works. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I mean, those keyboard warriors, they're tough behind a screen, but like he'd never come in and say that to your face. Yeah. And I feel like it's another tough part, like something that you really have to get thick skin with in entrepreneurship. If I'm being totally honest, I have not had a day off in over 2 years. Like. Yeah. Honestly, since probably January, whenever I first started working in the business, like you just don't get to take days off. Like even whenever I'm on vacation or doing something, if I'm not physically in the store, I'm still working. I'm still doing stuff. Like that's the beauty of having an e-commerce side to things is I can hire out the in-person and still work on the e-commerce. But I feel like sometimes like there's an expectation that like, why are you not in store? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not here right now? And it's just like really training your people to be like, I am a human. Like I do have a life too. I do have like personal things that I have to deal with and take care of also, just like you. But I mean, I can say I've been very, very, very blessed with such a great customer base of all loving, supportive people. So I definitely feel you whenever you said everyone flooded in, because that just shows that like what you're doing really does make a difference. Like, because I know like you obviously know you are, but just like sometimes to hear it from others and see like this is true, it just boosts you. It boosts your confidence back up.
I always try to like tell them thank you too. Like I probably once a month I probably make a post just saying, hey, thanks everyone for the love and support. Like this really means a lot to me, and I hope I never lose that.
I know.
Anybody that ever shares my stuff on Facebook, anybody that like helps me grow or like anything like that, I always try to tell them thank you, and I try to let them know like how much I appreciate it. It does mean a lot.
I agree. And then like sometimes I'll like miss something that someone shared on Facebook, or like if their profile is private and like we don't become friends till later, and like it pulls up like weeks later, I feel awful. I'm like, oh my God, like I even like love the post. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm just seeing this. Thank you so much for sharing it. Like, but I'm coming from the same place as you. Like we really like the biggest thing for a small business is word of mouth. So like if they're going to be giving me this word of mouth, like I'm going to make sure that they know that I see them, I hear them, and I'm grateful for them for continuing to help boost my business. So
it's something that like Gary Vaynerchuk's he talked about. He ever since like, do you know much about him? Have Wine Library and stuff.
I've like listened to a few of his like videos that like I scroll across on Facebook, but I haven't like crazy. Yeah, I need to because I always love what I hear. I just need to like actually deep dive in. And,
well, he has so much content you couldn't listen to it all. Oh gosh. And he started in the 90s with Wine Library. Wow. But he talked about like this is like right when the internet like just started off.
Yes.
And he was making videos for his Wine Library website. But one thing he talked about is anytime anybody commented, he made sure to reply to the comment, like it, reply to the comment. And he said he's been doing that for a long time, and I still see it. I still see it on his posts. He still comments and like replies and like, you know, you see a lot of small businesses are like, well, I just got burnt out, or I just, you know, they maybe had the energy at first and then they lost it. I'm like, that's a fear of mine. Yeah. My fear is that like fire might go away sometime. And so like, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm passionate about and I love it. And like, that's kind of why I'm changing atmospheres and I'm doing different things. I do the podcast to keep that fire lit. And I don't know, I got a lot of energy. So I don't know if I will run out, but, you know, and I think a lot of people that burn out locally, maybe they weren't really into it the way they said they were into it.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like some things are more so like, I don't want to call them a hobby, but I definitely think that there's a difference. Like even within my own business of like whenever I first started it, it's always been a legal business. I've always been registered with the state. I've always had all that together. But like the way I posted, the way I ordered my inventory, the way I did things was more so like, oh, like this is a great little like side gig. And now like we're into it. And I'm like, no, I'm like, bring me the analytics, bring me the numbers. Like what's going on in this? It's not just me guessing. It's like actually transitioning from it being more of a hobby to it being a business. And I too am like very, very energetic. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, how are you like in all these places at once? I was like, well, A, I don't sleep, and B, like I'm just a hyper person. Like I have a ton of energy at all times and it really works for me. And like putting on top of it, like the amount of passion that I have for it, like I've honestly just got the perfect mix